Hello everyone, welcome back to Literally What. I hope everyone had an amazing week. You probably had a better week than mine. I have been phoneless it was probably going on 4 days. Have my new phone finally, but you guys, something about not having a phone is so weird. So basically, woke up one morning using my phone as normal and getting ready for the day, and then I look down, the screen is completely just green and flashing. And at that point, I'm like, I don't even know what to do, because everything I looked up said that there's really no fix and that you just have to replace the whole entire screen. And so 3 days later, finally, we got myself a new phone. So I now have a 15 Pro Max. And if I waited, or if my phone waited one more day to break, I would have been able to get the 16. But we have a phone. That's all that matters now. But guys, that was a lot. So luckily, my Apple Watch. So basically, my old phone was working, right? It was just the screen wasn't working. So I was able to kind of see notifications on my Apple Watch. And then you can log on to Snapchat on your computer, I learned. You can log on to TikTok. So I was still getting my social fix. It's not like I took a 3-day detox, but I definitely wasn't, scrolling on my phone as much, which was good for me. But it took probably a day and a half to finally stop reaching for my phone. That was not there. And that honestly was kind of humbling for me, that maybe I do have a problem, and maybe that was good for me, and to start putting my phone down a little bit more. So we're going to work on that. But now that I have my phone, I'm so much better, which is so sad to say. But a phone's just easier. Even just doing little things and having to use my computer or something, or just trying to text people, it's just easy to have a phone. So I don't know. That was just a lot. Oh, and then literally on the way to the phone store to get my new phone, what does my old phone decide to do? Call 911. Yeah, so we were driving. All of a sudden on the car display, it says, dialing 911. Someone answers hello, you in danger, blah, blah. And I said, no, my phone's broken, so sorry, blah. It was a whole thing. And hopefully she believes me that I wasn't in danger, but that was very, 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 very scary. I've never called 911 before. Hopefully never have to again, but now I know what will happen if you call 911, and they answered really quickly. So I'm glad to know that if I ever do need a call, that they'll answer fast. But yeah, that was a lot. It was stressful, but now I have my phone back, and it's just all is right in the world again. And that, again, I have a problem, and I need to start not being on my phone as much. But if we're being honest, that may never happen. Anyways, but we're all good now. Finally back to normal, and I can go into this next week just feeling a lot better, because not having a phone is a little weird. It's definitely, you go from using it every day to now I was just what do I do? What do I do with my life now? But anyways, I hope everyone had a better week than me, that hopefully your phone is not broken. But we have so much to get into today. I am so excited. Also, in literally 2 weeks, it's going to be the 1 year of my podcast, and I am just so excited. This has been so much fun to do. And I'm just going to keep continuing to do it, keep helping you guys know all that's going on in pop culture, recapping our shows together. So, if you want to stay along for the next year, I definitely would appreciate it. And if you don't, that's fine, whatever. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into some hot gossip, hot take, stories, and advice that will have you saying literally what. Literally what? Okay, also another thing, when you get a new phone that I did not know, I just assumed that since I have iCloud, everything's backed up, right? No, I lost every single one of my TikTok drafts. Every single one. I had probably 350, and I'm very distraught. I'm wondering if on my iPad maybe somehow they'll be on there, but yeah, that was a lot. I went to go post one of my drafts, because you can't post on your computer or anything. On TikTok, you just kind of view whatever the videos are. And that they were gone. So that's been kind of hard to wrap my brain around, that I don't have all of my drafts, but it's okay. It'll be okay. Anyway, yeah, let's just get into our first story, which is going to be all about Dancing with the Stars. I watched the episode actually twice, because first I just like, I feel like the first night I watched it, I was also like texting my friends and like going back and forth. So I was like focusing, but I wasn't like 100% watching every single dance. So I went back the next day and really paid attention. I watched every single dance again. And I judged it. I mean, I should be a Dancing with the Stars judge at this point, but I went through every single dance twice. I have notes on every single couple, and we're going to talk about all of them because this is my entire personality, as I mentioned before. Great first show, though. I mean, I was impressed with everyone, the costumes, the dancing, just everything. I'm just so excited for this season, and I think that there's just so many amazing people on the show, and they're definitely going to draw in a lot of viewers as well. I feel like I've always watched Dancing with the Stars, but now this season, I'll see people I follow like reposting, you know, how they'll post on their story or share a Dancing with the Stars thing, and I'm like, yeah, you guys, I've watched this forever, you know, you're just kind of watching it now, but it's just so fun to see, you know, shows that you grew up watching, and then it gets more and more attention, and then more and more people are watching, and you just feel special because you're like that OG, how I feel with Post Malone, because now he's super popular, and I'm like, Post Malone's been like my person though since like 2018, but that's besides the point. All right, so week 1, first of all, I want that mirror ball in my house somewhere. Like, I need a big mirror ball hanging from my ceiling because that was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. But one thing that was really cool is if you guys follow anyone of the celebrities or pros on like Snapchat or Instagram, they'll post a lot of behind the scenes things leading up to the premiere day on Tuesdays. And so it was just cool seeing, you know, it looks way different on TV than people who are just there watching the dance. Like, I feel like on TV it just has that wow factor and it looks so cool. And then you'll see, you know, a recording of them dancing on the stage, and it just, I don't know, it was so weird, like seeing the before and after, and, you know, all the production it takes, and, you know, the cameras where they have to move for camera blocking, and they would do videos showing, you know, in their trailers, and then having to do all these shoots, and then getting mic'd up, and then doing the camera blocking so that the camera knows where to go for each little dance move. So it was really cool. And I also found out, I knew that they do like a run through obviously, but I didn't know that they got pretend scores from the judges and they walk all the way up to the skybox and like do everything. I thought that was really cool just to see a little bit. I love behind the scenes and production and all of that. But yeah, that was just cool to see everything come together. Another thing I noticed is I feel like a lot of celebrities this year have not seen the show, just because when they would get their scores, they didn't know if that was good or bad. And I feel like me, or like all you guys who are fans of the show, you would know like a 7's really good to get on week 1, or, you know, a 5's not the best, but like it's not the worst. So it was just funny seeing the celebrities being like, is that good? Because I'm like, how are you even Dancing with the Stars and not even know basics about scoring? But I'm trying to think what else. Okay, yeah, I have notes about scoring, but we'll go over that at the end after we go through all the couples. So I have it in order of who went first to last. Then I'm going to give you my top 4 predictions, and then also like who I would want in a perfect world, because I think that's different than who I think is actually going to make it into the top 4. But we'll see, because I feel like there's always surprises on who gets voted off. And it's always just like so weird, you know? I feel like sometimes it's like, why would they go home this week, or why did they not go home this week? So anyway, first couple, Jenna and Joey. I was nervous for this one because I love Joey. I love Joey and Kelsey. I think Joey is just the best person we've seen on reality TV, and is just such a sweetheart. And I was super excited for him to go on the show, but I didn't know if he could dance. I knew he would have some kind of rhythm because he did the flamenco date or whatever on his Bachelor show, but I didn't know if he would be how he would be, because I wanted him to like make sure that he's making it. But I was kind of nervous about that, and thank goodness he can dance. I was so happy. I was like, oh, okay, he has a chance at this, because he did so well. He had the best smile. He was, honestly, you could tell, having so much fun, and I think that him and Jenna have a really good partnership together, and that'll help them go farther as well, just because if you have a good partnership with them, it's gonna be good for you guys to keep going on in the weeks. It was funny that when he was like, I have golden retriever energy, not sexy energy. And we know that they do like different dances, like they'll have to do the rumba together, and like just to see how he does with that, because this dance, he was able to just kind of smile the whole time and have fun with it. But yeah, he can move, he hit the steps. That's something I always look at, is if the choreographer or the pro, if they give them more like complicated or like quicker steps, that has to do with like rhythm, and then the celebrity can hit that and like actually be on rhythm with the steps. I'm like, that's a good sign, because you either have rhythm or you don't have rhythm. And so I think it's good for him that, I think because he was a tennis coach, I think that's a lot with footwork as well. So he's gonna do well with footwork, which is always a good thing, because if you don't have it, I feel like that's something that's really hard to teach. But yeah, I think they'll go far. I loved their dance. He was so fun to watch. Loved them. And they got all 7s, which is really good for a first week. Okay, Gleb and Brooks. So this is the couple that obviously they're playing up their chemistry together. And obviously they are 2 very good looking people. But I don't know if it's for the cameras or not, because he did an interview where he said that they weren't like dating, or he wasn't interested in dating her. But then if you've seen the TikToks they're posting together, you're like, I'm interrupting something. So I can't get a read on them if they're gonna start dating or not, but it always helps with the votes when there's a couple that you're like, oh my gosh, are they gonna like get together and start dating? So again, like, they did the tango, which is a lot of technique, and that's really, really hard for a first dance. So I don't know why they're tangoing for a first dance, but so that's why when I watched her, and when I watched her back a second time, you could tell that she was just focusing really hard on counting and making sure she was hitting the right steps, and didn't really have that, you know, face on of like dancing and performing. It was very much a focus, like, let me make sure I hit this right. But I think she did really well for week 1. Obviously, she danced really, really well. They got all 6s, but tango was hard. So, you know. Okay, Alan and Alona, they also got all 6s as well. Again, like, she has the funniest content. She has a really great fan base out there. I love just her message for women and girls. She definitely just needs to be way more fluid. Like, she wasn't finishing her steps. She was definitely nervous and kind of stiff, which again, like, this is out of her comfort zone, and for what she did it really, really well for the first week. But definitely I think that she just needs to be more fluid, finish her moves, and hopefully in just like different dances she'll be able to just flow a little bit more freely. But it was so funny when she got a 6 and was like freaking out. It was so cute, because she probably thought she was gonna do not well, but she danced really well. And like, I don't know, I really liked it a lot, and I love them together. They're like my favorite people. When they post a TikTok, I'm like, yes, it's gonna be so good. Emma and Reginald, the fact that he got a 6, and this goes back to what at the end, like the scoring on week 1 and just in general, like they need to have some kind of like, it just is weird that he got a 6, and like a lot of people who actually did well got 6s. When he literally just stood there pretty much. And I don't understand why they have older people on Dancing with the Stars. And there's always questions about like, well, why does this person always get paired up with an older person? I think Emma especially, she works a lot with the Dancing with the Stars tour. So I think if she, well, inevitably when she gets off early on the show, then she's able to kind of help out with the tour. So I guess it's not a big deal if she gets voted out, if that kind of makes sense. So I guess like the pros who are paired with the older people, it's okay because they have something else going on maybe. I don't know how it all works. We might not never know how they pair them up, but that's what I've kind of gotten a little bit of from what I've heard and seen. But he's really sweet, and I love Emma. She's one of my favorite pros. But at the end of the day, he can't dance. And yeah, it was inevitable. I mean, I thought he might have danced a little bit better than he did. There was just not a lot of footwork or steps at all. But they got 2 5s and a 6. Like, why are we giving out 6s? That's actually crazy. But whatever. Okay, Whitney and Danny, love them. He apparently hasn't danced before, but he did really well. I love Whitney. The fact that she's back, I'm so happy about that. And the tango's crazy for week 1. It's just like a lot of technique, but he did really well with his steps. He has really great potential. That first, when the beat dropped and they did that whole like footwork movement down the middle, I was like, I could watch it over and over again. It was so good. And he was just very focused, but he had like a good performance face on. He did really well with the routine. I love the choreography. I love them together, and it was a really good dance. And they got that's what I'm saying, like he got a 6 and 2 7s. It's like this, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, Pasha and Tori, they got 2 6s and a 5. I love her. I think she's really sweet, and I think she's doing this for herself. She apparently turned this down pretty much every season and is finally doing it this year. She doesn't have any dancing experience. She did really well though, but I think she's just, again, a little stiff with her arms, but she was enjoying herself. So I think, I don't know if she'll go super far, but I think that she has a lot of potential. And I think she should have gotten all 3 6s. Like, I don't understand why she got a 5. You know what I mean? Because, again, it's like, at least they have the moves and the footwork and all of that in there. And, you know, whatever. I'm not the judge, though. Okay, Sasha and Jen, they got 2 6s and a 7. Again, this is the couple that they literally met right after she got off the live Bachelor finale or Bachelorette finale. So I'm happy that she has this. Also, Jonathan was there in the front row, so they're definitely together. And if they're not, I don't know what's going on, because also he's been hinting that he's going to Bachelor in Paradise, but if he's with Jen, are they going to go on there together? Like, what's going on with that? But yeah, you could tell that she was nervous, but again, like, great choreography. She hit the steps. I kind of was expecting a little bit more. I don't know. I just feel like I thought it was going to blow me away and they were going to get like all 7s or 8s. But she did well for her first week. And again, we will see as the weeks go on. I mean, obviously, like, the first show is always going to be nerve-wracking for people. And she has stage fright, apparently, which, stage fright, Bachelorette, like, good for her, honestly. All right, Brandon and Chandler, they will obviously, I mean, we can all say this, they were the best. They will definitely make it into the finale. But they weren't my favorite dance of the night. Anyway, so they got 2 8s and a 7. She's the one, obviously. I feel like every season there's someone who comes on who has had a lot of dance experience. Charlie D'Amelio, Zendaya, Jojo Siwa. And so she's obviously done a lot with Disney and has danced a lot before. So obviously coming into this, I knew she was going to be a good dancer. But it was really, really, really a good, solid dance. Her and Brandon have a great partnership. They were really fun to watch, and it was just a good dance. So, love them. But my favorite couple, my favorite dance, just who I will be rooting for until the end, Daniela and Dwight. They're just my favorites, and it really just boils down to her choreography. She is amazing. She is just the best at what she does. He can move. They dance really well together. That was a crazy packed fun routine. My favorite dance to watch of the night. I am obsessed with them. I love her, and it's just, they're my favorites. Like, it's just so good. And I love that her dances are always just so different and so much more entertaining than all the other ones, in my opinion. So loved them. Okay, Britt and Eric, there's just no hope there. I mean, it's hard to watch. And I know that, you know, these people who go on the show are so excited that they get to do this, and it's probably just like, you know, once in a lifetime opportunity, but it's hard for me as a viewer to watch and be like, now I have to watch them get judged, and then I have to watch them get these low scores, and it's just like, it's hard. But they did have more moves than Reginald, but they still got 3 5s, so I don't know what's going on with that, but it was definitely a 5s dance. Yeah. So anyway, okay, Val and Phaedra, they did actually really good. I love her, and like I said, we have been binging the Traders, and she was on Traders season 2, and she was a Trader, spoiler alert. And so the dance routine was based on her as a trader. They had like the robes on, and it was really, really good. She has the steps down, and that's, again, what I look at, you know, that's what I look for as a judge. But she had great personality, had the steps down, and I love Val too. So I love them together. Just a really cute dance. They got a 7 and 2 6s. Okay, Riley and Steven definitely surprised me as well, because I didn't know how well he would be with steps, especially since a jive on week 1 is actually crazy. But the choreography was so good. He did so good. The whole routine with the Rubik's Cube, it was just so cute. And his smile the whole time, like, you could tell he was enjoying himself as well. And I'm really excited to see him in other dances too. I can't see him doing like a waltz though. I don't know. It's just going to be like kind of funny, but loved them together. And they got 3 7s. And then last but not least, Ezra and Anna. I don't know. It was just like, she made a comment when they were getting their scores, and she was asked like, how are you feeling? And she's like, well, I'm just glad I don't have to do this dance again. And it's like, okay, why can you be grateful that you're on the show? Like, why you have to complain? The bedazzled ankle monitor, yeah, of course. She can dance. It's not like she sucked out there, but it was just like, I can see her going home fairly early, or people might just be voting for her just because it's someone different out there. But overall, really great first week. I mean, besides like the 2 older celebs, there wasn't really anyone that I was like, oh, they can't dance, they're gonna go home the next week. But there is a double elimination on Tuesday, and if it's not the 2 older, I think Reginald might slip through the cracks, I don't know, but I could see maybe Tori Spelling going home, or maybe Ezra and Anna going home, just votes wise, I don't know. Yeah, so my favorites, Jenna and Joey, I love them so much. Whitney and Danny, Daniela and Dwight, Riley and Steven. Now, who I think will be in the finale is going to be Riley and Steven, Brandon and Chandler for sure. I can see Alona and Alan making it votes wise, and then maybe Daniela and Dwight, or maybe Jenna and Joey. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so maybe my predictions will be right. We'll see. We shall see. But back to scoring, I just like, if there's 2 insanely different talented dances, like one that doesn't have a lot of steps and one that does, like we shouldn't be giving out the same scores and same numbers. That there has to be some way to make the scores more fair, because some of them it's like, what's the point? Are you just giving them a higher score because you don't think they're going to get the popular votes? Or like, it's just weird to me. But overall, really good. Excited to see all the dances. That's another thing. I feel like everyone I'm excited to watch dance the next week, just to see, because all of them have potential. So really good week 1. But let me know your guys' thoughts, because I could talk about this all day. Alrighty, our next story is about Saturday Night Live. They announced their season 50 host and musical guests. I didn't even know it was season 50 already, but I think last season I watched a few, and honestly, it's kind of funny. I love just like improv and sketches like that, so it was fun for me to watch. But they are back with new and returning stars for its historic 50th season, and it's going to be premiering September 28th, so exactly a week from now. And then they announced the host and musical performers for the first 5 episodes of the new series. So if you are interested and care to know, September 28th, the first week, they're having Gene Smart and Jelly Roll. I love Jelly Roll. I feel like I've seen him everywhere. He was at the Miami Dolphins game too. I just feel like he's everywhere. October 5th, Nate Bargatze and Coldplay. Love Coldplay. Definitely will be watching that. October 12th, Ariana Grande and Stevie Nicks. October 19th, Michael Keaton and Billie Eilish. And then November 2nd, John Mulaney and Chappell Roan. Which I just saw actually that she was diagnosed with severe depression and was speaking out about that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that must be hard. Like just her like shooting up in popularity, like just like that, and how hard that must be. But excited for this, excited for Saturday Night Live. I just always forget to tune in and watch it, and then I'll go back and like sometimes watch some of the skits. But yeah, excited for that. Okay, next story. Little Shop of Horrors current Audrey and Seymour on the off-Broadway show Sarah Hyland and Andrew Barth Feldman were singing Skid Row at the 5th anniversary celebration in Times Square. So first of all, I need to do a better job at following Broadway shows and off-Broadway shows, because I would have absolutely loved to see them do this. And their last performance, I think, though, is next week. But they've been doing it since May, and I had no idea about that they were on the show together. And I actually saw, I love, obviously Sarah Hyland from Modern Family, but I just watched the movie No Hard Feelings, and obviously Andrew was the main character. I didn't know he could sing or act like that, oh my gosh, he's literally an actor, sing like that on, Broadway, but I would have loved to see them together. And they just looked so cute and sang really well together. I didn't know Sarah Hyland could sing like that. That was crazy. And also, Little Shop of Horrors, I saw the play just like at my local community theater a while ago, and it was actually really good. I feel like it's really underrated, and I would have loved to have seen this. But basically, they had their 5th anniversary, and they announced the new main Audrey and Seymour that were going to be taking over But go watch the video because it's actually really good. And I'm like jealous I couldn't see them. So now I'm like following Broadway to a T because I want to make sure that if there's someone that I really like, then I can go see them, you know? Okay. This next story is a little bit crazy. It's a little follow-up with our favorite guy from Bachelor Nation, Devin Strader. So Bachelorette star Jen Tran's ex-fiance Devin, his past is coming back to haunt him. This was crazy. So basically, according to court documents, he was arrested in 2017 for allegedly breaking into his ex-girlfriend's home in Louisiana. Why are Bachelor producers just not looking into things like this? So when he was arrested, his ex had already filed a restraining order on him, and then she just claimed that she got home from a trip, her room was ransacked, and a diamond necklace was missing that, yes, he did gift her. And she claimed that they had just recently broke up. He didn't have a key to her unit, like even when they were dating and afterwards. And then the officer went to the scene. He said that the room was rifled through. There was a bottle of perfume that was broken, an empty makeup tray, and then the missing diamond necklace. And then while they were still investigating, the ex requested that he be held in contempt of court because he repeatedly was violating the restraining order. And he would come to her house, banging on the door several times and scream at her. So this is crazy. Like, why are we not doing background checks? Why are we not looking into this? Like, what the heck? But Jen definitely dodged a bullet. Well, I mean, she ended up picking him, but at least they ended it so that she didn't have to deal with all of this. But this guy needs some serious help. And I can't believe that they didn't look into this before. Like where are they finding these men? Seriously. Crazy. Okay, next story. Miley Cyrus has been sued, accused of copying Bruno Mars's song. So basically her song Flowers, they're like, you copied the When I Was Your Man song. Okay, so first of all, Bruno Mars is not the one suing her. It is the company who owns the song. And I just if I'm an artist, right, and I'm writing a song that is very clearly similar and in a response to another song, I just feel like I don't understand why they're doing this now, a year and a half later after it comes out, because her song is literally just a response to When I Was Your Man, and apparently When I Was Your Man, it was Miley and Liam's wedding song, and so Flowers was kind of her response of I can do it all myself. And I feel like she's even said before that she was inspired by his song, When I Was Your Man, for this song, Flowers. So anyway, according to the lawsuit, it was filed in an LA court on September 16th. Temple Music Investments, who owns a share of the copyright in his song, alleged that many recognized the striking similarities between the two songs upon the release of Flowers. It is undeniable based on the combination and number of similarities between the two recordings that Flowers would not exist without When I Was Your Man. It's just so obvious that why is this even, I don't this is so crazy to me. And surely Bruno knew, this is so obvious. Who cares? It's not like she was hiding it. I don't get it. But anyway, she has been just seen out with her boyfriend on date nights, not caring, because obviously she probably has a team handling this for her, but it just seems like an easy grab that the lawyers are trying to make some money, and it's just really? She just won a Grammy for it, and now you're going to be suing her? Whatever. But anyway, this next story, though, is a good one. A really good one. I haven't heard a story like this in a long time. You've probably heard of it, and it is about the 8-year-old who took her mom's car on a 25-minute ride to Target. You heard that correctly. An 8-year-old somehow got her mom's keys, got in the car, reached the pedals, drove 25 minutes to Target, and the family obviously reported her missing, and when the police found her, she was sipping a Frappuccino. Okay, go you, girlfriend. I just, first of all, in my head, I'm if I ever have a kid, how do I make it known where it's not, I feel like that's common sense. But then I'm would I even think about talking to my 8-year-old about not